Yo, the 2K20 demo just dropped and we've already got the top 5 best builds right now for 2K20. I've been playing the game for hours, testing stuff out, and without further ado, these are the top 5 best builds. Let's get right into it, baby. So our first build on this list is going to be an old 2K favorite, the glass cleaner. Now, the glass cleaner build is so effective in 2K because you're able to set these big body brick wall screens. Your defense is crazy, so you're gonna have great stats defensively, and you're the ultimate support build, which is why the glass cleaner will always be an effective build, especially in 2K when they still have the same post animations where you can just score by, bullying your way. So my advice for making a glass cleaner build: always make his weight and wingspan maxed out. And the reason I do that is because I really like strength, because I don't want to get bullied in the paint by centers. Strength is a big factor when being able to play great defense against centers, especially post scorers. And the wingspan helps you just about anything. Helps you get passing lane steals, helps you get blocks, helps you rebound, and of course choose the glass cleaner takeover because you're able to just throw people out of the way on boards and see where the ball's going. So it's pretty much unchanged from last year. I've noticed a lot of the animations, it seems like they're just really similar to 2K19 with the dribbling's like 2K18. So there's not really much that's different. For finishing badges, I would definitely recommend the contact finisher badge because you're able to finish through contact. With the glass cleaner build, you're really not a scorer, but you're just a support player. So you're going to want to run this glass cleaner build with like a pure sharp, a playmaking shot creator, a playmaking sharp, someone that's able to score, because this build is able to do everything else. Able to rebound, able to set screens, help your partner get open, and do all that. So the badges I like are drop stepper, of course, because you want to be able to drop step. The badge is cheesy as hell. And all those other shooting badges you really don't need because you're not really shooting. So I would just either go with Deadeye or catch and shoot, to be honest. It doesn't really matter because you're not really going to be shooting the ball like that. You want to be able to hit the occasional mid-range. Your teammate's probably going to need to have dimer. So you're playing with a Playmaker, I recommend playing with catch and shoot. Your playmaking badges, I like the quick first step badge just in case you need to you want to get by someone. So you can do that, or you can do unrippable, the badge that doesn't let people steal the ball from you. And these are all the defensive badges. All of them are Hall of Fame. So the next build on the list is the 3-level scorer, which is basically a hybrid post scorer and hybrid stretch. So this stretch build, it's looking pretty nice. Pick and pop, bang bang. I think I made this build a power forward green light. So this is what it is. Pretty much 28 shooting badges, 1 finishing, 1 playmaking, 6 defense basically. I don't know why they call it 3-level shooter. It's just basically a stretch big. But hey, whatever they're gonna call it, they're gonna call it. The thing is about the stretch bigs, everyone's freaking out because they nerfed the speed on the stretch bigs. You're not going to be moving as fast this year. The same thing with the small forward builds. You're not going to be speed boosting like that like crazy. But stretches are always going to be effective in the game because 1, you can get good brick wall, so you're going to be able to set screens pretty well. 2, you're able to pick and pop, which is the one thing that most centers don't do. Most centers just pick and roll. It's a lot harder to guard the pick and pop than it is to guard the pick and roll, in my opinion, because when you have someone having to help out or show out on defense, it's hard for them to get back to their man if they're moving the opposite way to the 3-point line. So stretch build, I would recommend using 7-foot height, which is basically the max height at a power forward spot, because I don't want to get bodied in the paint. Obviously a lot of people are obsessed with their jump shot rating. So do not fall into the trap of making your wingspan like turtle arms and making your height 5 foot, 6 foot. You want to have a big height and a moderately good wingspan, because without that, you're going to be a good shooter, but everything else is going to suck. You're not going to get steals, you're not going to get blocks, you're not going to get any of that. So depending on what type of player you are, you can go with either post score or spot up shooter. Obviously, if you like to gain those cheesy post score animations where you just spin off people and you drop step them into the ground, pick the post score one. If you want to be able to shoot lights out, pick the sharpshooter one. It's all based on your tendencies, and you know, all these are subject to change. You know, if 2K patches the game and takes out those animations, then you won't really need it. But the next build is interior force build. This is a pure post score build. Post scores are still very effective for one reason: that drop step badge is crazy. It makes people fall on their knees. This year you're still able to push people out of the way, like I'm demonstrating right here, and won. So here are the attributes that I have towards it. I don't really care that much about speed. Like I said, I really like strength, because if you play a lot of twos like me, speed doesn't really make a difference. Speed only really makes a difference when you're running the floor and on your lateral quickness. So with post scores, I always recommend going with 7'3" height, because you know, your jump shot doesn't really matter. You're gonna be shooting post fades, you're gonna be shooting at the rim. Wingspan, I like to have it close to max or max, because as I've previously described and explained, that's important. And of course, the post score takeover badge, where you make people fall on their face. So here are the Hall of Fame badges I got for finishing. It's pretty self-explanatory. The one thing I will say is that this is all dependent on 2K balancing the game properly. So if it's the same thing as last year, which so far it looks like it's pretty close to, these are the best badges, although we still have to test out some of these new badges that have come into play. Like, there's a lot of new playmaking and shooting badges that are really going to affect how people make their players once they get tested out. Obviously, I'm just going with what I know are effective badges based off of years past, which of course is catch and shoot, corner specialist, deadeye. So this post scoring build is going to be able to shoot threes in the corner and green light them. So you're basically a stretch post scorer. So I debated going with pick and popper. I honestly felt like, depending on what you're doing, which I feel like if I'm using a post scorer, I'm going to be ISOing and just trying to score on myself. I don't really want badges where I'm dependent on somebody else. So playmaking, of course, you're using a post scorer. You want that post spin technician, and then you can choose either unrippable, or that's basically it. Defense, I like the rim protector badge. I like the post move lockdown badge, especially if you're a post scorer that plays a lot of 1v1 and you're playing other people at the 1v1 court. That post move lockdown is going to come in handy. So I always recommend people do not slack on defense and rebounding, because you want to be able to play defense no matter what build you are. So that's the post scorer build. The next build is the playmaking shot creator. Now this was actually, I was making a play sharp, I thought, and it turned out being a play shot creator. This build actually does have 85 3 ball. So I was surprised when it came up as playmaking shot creator. I don't even know how you make a play sharp. But as you see, he's able to finish, he's able to shoot, he's able to dribble, and these are the attributes. Now the thing is with these playmaking builds is that a lot of testing is going to need to be done to figure out which badges are more effective than others. Like, I know there's a first step badge, I know there's a tight handles badge, I know there's a lot of things that, there's a badge that says it helps you create space from your opponent. I don't really know what that means, but of course ankle breaker is a must. So there's gonna have to be a lot of testing done. I'm gonna update the video when it comes out. I recommend going with 6'4". The main thing with being a playmaker is you have to have 86 ball control. So make sure you're capped out at 86 ball control. That way you don't have to worry about not being able to speed boost. Probably make it even higher, because you're gonna have to really grind for that 86 ball control. If you're not gonna really grind the game and get your player up to 95, 96, then make sure your ball control is above a 86, because you don't want the cap to be at 86 and you're not going to hit the cap until like 95 overall, because then you're just going to be wasting your time if you're not going to hit it. So make sure you're cognizant of that. Weight, I always on all my guard builds like to make the weight minimum weight because I want to be fast. And for some reason in 2K's mind, if you lower your weight, your vertical goes up and your acceleration goes up. Strength doesn't really matter on a guard. I'm sorry, unless you're a guard that's posting people up. Wingspan, I like to have 85 3 ball. So whatever it takes to get that 85 3 ball and where I'm going to be green lighting everything, that's where I'll go at. And yeah, this is a really effective, play shot. I didn't even think this was a play shot creator. I think I put difficult shots on this. That might be why it was a play shot. No, because you made the build beforehand. Okay. So I don't know what it is. And let me know in the comment section if you guys have made play sharps this year. Because I haven't been able to figure out how to get it to actually come up as a play sharp. I don't know if it has to do with the finishing or the shooting or whatever, because I'm pretty sure I had the shooting maxed out on this build. So your takeover, I like the Playmaker takeover or the shot creator takeover, because the Playmaker, you're able to break people's ankles left and right, and the shot creator is going to be fading in people's faces. So it's up to you. I like them both. Doesn't really matter. Finishing, obviously contact finisher, I always recommend going with that. And then whatever else you want, you could put teardropper on, you can put whatever you feel like is necessary. You're not really going to need that many finishing badges with this build. It's just if people are playing up and you heavy, you might be able to go to the rim. Shooting badges, catch and shoot, difficult shots. Yes, I did put difficult shots on it. Corner specialist, dead eye, limitless range or range extender. And of course, you need that tireless score for when, you get tired with this build and you're still able to score the ball. Now, we got to see how effective slippery off ball badge is, because that might be really cheesy if you put that on a stretch big and you're able to be, going off the ball and zooming, zigzagging. Everyone remembers 2K17, how cheesy that was off the inbound. So we'll have to see how effective that is. Corner specialist, tireless scorer, range extender. I recommend everything that's going to give you an actual in-game, boost, rather than something that's based off, a hot spot or based off of hitting, consecutive green lights. I always recommend going for badges that are going to make you better no matter what. Playmaking, unpluckable, quick first step, space creator, handles for days. I took a long time debating with myself what I wanted. You gotta have ankle breaker, I thought to myself. So it's really hard to figure out which badges to have, especially with only 19 upgrades. So tight handles, stop and go. There really are a lot of good playmaking badges this year. But as I said earlier, we just gotta see which badges are more effective than others. So this is all up to you. I would actually recommend waiting to see the badges when the game comes out, because they've even said that they're thinking of adjusting the builder when the game comes out to where you can change the pie chart and change how much you're able to put into one attribute, which would be really cool if they do. You're gonna see a lot more diversity of the builds. And the one thing I will say is, when you're making these builds, I don't want to go to the park and see everyone running play sharps. I don't want to see that. I want to see you make your own build, and you take the time to customize and fit your play style, and do what you got to do. So with defense, pickpocket, pick dodger, this is really a 2s or 3s guard. So I like to have pickpocket and pick dodger, and then clamps, intimidator. I don't know how intimidator is gonna work. Sounds kind of dumb. You could scare your opponent into missing more shots or something. I don't know. It sounds kind of stupid. But those are the badges I really recommend for defense. A lot of people overlook defense. I will say, I don't know how effective these badges are going to be, but we'll have to see. I've always thought to myself, defense is more based off of, your own personal skill rather than badges. Except if you're locked down. If you're locked down, it takes no skill. You just spam the X button, and then you get a stop. And finally, our last build in this video is the slashing Playmaker. Now I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are probably saying, what the hell is this guy talking about, fucking idiot? The slashing Playmaker this year is going to be glitchy, and the reason I say that is you will see by the attributes in a second, you are going to be able to shoot, drive, and speed boost, and play clock down defense. Now, this might not be the greatest shooter early on, but if you're willing to grind this to 95 overall, you're going to be a god, man. I'm telling you. So you could make this guy like, I would say 6'5" ish. You got to make sure you have that 86 ball control. But if you have that, you are going to be a monster. Minimum weight 75, 3 ball. You put a boost on that, or you win an event, all of a sudden you're looking at 83 ball, which is enough. You're going to be getting green to the 3-point line as long as you have your hot spots. This is a very underrated build. I know a lot of people look at slashers and say, don't make a slasher, it's trash, it doesn't take any skill. This build can shoot, I'm telling you. You're going to be able to shoot, you're going to be able to speed boost, you're going to be able to drive. It's very underrated. The finishing badges, I don't really focus too much on finishing, but those are the easy finishing badges. Shooting, you're going to be getting 12 upgrades to shooting, so that means you can get gold difficult shots, gold deadeye, gold catch and shoot, gold whatever you want. It's a very good build, I'm telling you. All these badges, and while being a driver, predominantly a driver, you're gonna have all these badges. That's how crazy. No one's gonna be able to guard you. You're gonna be speed boosting around the court, and you're still gonna be shooting. This is really a ISO player's build, I'm telling you guys. I'm pretty sure I made this I intended to make this a pure playmaker, and then it just came up as a slashing playmaker. I don't know why they put slashing on it, considering I had more attributes in shooting than I did in slashing. But look at all these Hall of Fame playmaking badges, man. Who is gonna guard you? No one. No one's gonna guard you. And you get 9 defensive badges. So you can get gold clamps, gold pickpocket, gold rim protector, gold whatever. It's like they think you're like a center or something. They give you gold, brick wall. If you're that weird and you're gonna, you want to run gold brick wall with a guard, gold intimidator, whatever you want. So that's gonna be it for the video, man. Thank you guys as always for watching. Let me know in the comment section what you built for 2K20, and if you're gonna be making new players or experimenting, doing whatever you want. Make sure if you're new, hit that notification bell, like, comment, subscribe for more videos. It's been your boy Lethal. Y'all know how we get on, man. Signing out. Peace. Appreciate it.